export agriculture is the farming of crops and commodities for export to international markets as opposed to domestic consumption. In Malaysia, the primary export-oriented agricultural products are palm oil and rubber. They are important for the Malaysia economy in terms of GDP, employment, and foreign trade. The performance of these industries reflects not only international demand, but also domestic agricultural policy, climate resilience, and sustainability efforts. The study of export agriculture trends and implications enables effective policy making, planning for investment, and farmer support who is dependent on export markets.
Malaysia's total palm oil export declined from 2014 to 2023. In 2014, 17.6 million metric tons were exported by the country. By 2023, this number has decreased to 15.10 million metric tons. The value of export has decreased significantly, even though the volume has decreased. In 2022, it reached Rm 86.5 billion, but in 2023, it fell to Rm 62.4 billion. This change shows how uncertain the global market is. Extreme weather conditions, labor shortage, and change in commodity prices are all influencing factors. With 2.84 million metric tons, India remained the largest importing country. China imported 1.47 million, while the European Union imported 1.07 million metric tons. Kenya and Turkey are also major importers. Among the top 5, Turkey imported the least, which is 0.88 million metric tons. As a result of this data, Malaysia continues to be major exporter of palm oil. However, global demand trends and sustainability issues are increasingly affecting the industry. We can understand market movement and prepare for challenges in the international trade landscape by closely monitoring export data.
Back in 2014, Malaysia exported around 1.01 million metric tons of natural rubber, earning roughly 5.7 billion ringgit. That number grew a bit in 2017, reaching a peak of 1.07 million tons, with the export value rising to 9.1 billion ringgit. But after that high point, the numbers started to decline. Fast forward to 2023, and the export volume had dropped quite a bit down to 578,000 tons, which is about a 43% decrease over the decade. Even so, the value didn't fall as sharply. In fact, the sector still managed to bring in about 7.6 billion ringgit. This likely means that global rubber prices helped keep the industry afloat despite the lower output. So what does this tell us? Even though Malaysia is producing less rubber than before, the regional demand remains steady. And for many smallholder farmers living in rural areas, rubber is still a vital source of income. It may not be making headlines like palm oil, but it's still holding its ground.
From 2014 to 2023, Malaysian palm oil industry remained a major contributor to the economy, even with export volume dropping from 17.66 to 15.10 million tons. Annual export revenue stays strong, reaching Rm 86.5 billion in 2022, before easing to Rm 62.4 billion in 2023. This consistent income support GDP, foreign trade, and thousands of rural jobs. Socially, the palm oil sector has reduced poverty by providing steady income for smallholders, especially in rural areas. However, it faced criticism over labor conditions and land rights, particularly involving indigenous communities, issues that require a stronger enforcement and ethical standards. Environmentally, palm oil expansion has led to deforestation and biodiversity loss, but since 2018, Malaysia has introduced the MSPO certifications to encourage responsibility and sustainable farming. Although not perfect, these steps show progress in reducing harm while keeping the industry competitive.
Malaysia's rubber industry has seen some big changes over the past decade. Although export volumes dropped from 1.01 million tons in 2014 to 578,000 tons in 2023, the industry still earned Rm 7.6 billion last year. This shows that even with less quantity, higher global prices and value-added products like gloves have helped keep rubber exports economically strong. On the social side, rubber farming continues to support thousands of smallholders, especially in rural parts of Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia. However, the industry is facing challenges, a lack of young workers and an aging workforce. To help small farmers stay afloat, the government provides subsidies during price drop. Environmentally, rubber plantations are considered less damaging than palm oil. They can even support some biodiversity when managed properly. But issues like overtapping trees and poor waste management can lead to long-term soil and ecosystem damage.
4.0 Export Agriculture and Economic Contribution. Palm oil and rubber together earn Malaysia over 70 billion in export revenue annually. They support GDP, foreign exchange, and employment in rural areas. From 2014 to 2023, these industries showed resilience despite market pressures. Palm oil and natural rubber are shipped to over 150 countries, with the largest markets including China, India, the European Union, the United States, and Pakistan. These destinations not only reflect strong international demand but also highlight Malaysia's strategic importance in the global export agriculture and industrial supply chains. Moving forward, Malaysia needs to focus on sustainability, market diversification, and better support for smallholders. By doing this, we can ensure that export agriculture continues to grow and support national development.
In summary, from 2014 to 2023, the exports of agriculture in Malaysia underwent significant changes due to shift in global demand, price fluctuations, environmental factors, and evolving sustainability criteria. Despite these challenges, the primary industries such as palm oil and rubber remain important for the economy as they provide income supporting the rural, earning foreign income, and enhancing Malaysia's international trade position. In the future, adopting innovation, sustainability, and government support will be important to foster growth and resilience within this crucial industry.